They'll see if they're ready. We're live on YouTube to let you know.
The other lady, I be doing that sometimes, so I be like, you couldn't tell me funny. What is that on Twitter or something?
Oh, TikTok.
TikTok, oh, okay. I be forgetting I got TikTok. 'Cause I just watch everybody else post it.
Yeah, I be posting that
That's
girl.
funny. Well, this what they do, your daughter got you in the back.
I need to, I just saw that for real. I wouldn't, I don't think she posted that, but I hope not.
They just don't have time. What? Oh, you laughing? I'm talking about this guy. That's all right, because they're gonna be funny. It'd be funny, they post stuff on.
Somebody let her listen to it. Wow. She started dancing to it. This grandma right here. Okay.
Look at that, look at that. Well, people ask for what they need, something to go to.
That was early.
Are these all males? Or we got a couple females? Okay,
They
thanks.
weren't in our,
Oh,
I
okay.
can't separate them.
Right. You did anyway with the rubber band thing. Good afternoon, sir.
State full name. Travell Raynell Collins.
One moment. Okay, I apologize. Your name one more time.
Travell Raynell Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Collins, and good afternoon. You're here for case number 2004560, People State of Michigan versus Travell Raynell Collins, also known as Travell Reen Collins, Travell Collins, Travell R. Collins. Counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. Attorney Bird on behalf of Travell Collins, my client would like to perform the reading, understand the constitutional right to stand guilty.
Court waive formal reading under a plea of not guilty. We'll get to the court dates in a moment as to bond. As to the bond.
My client indicates to us that he's 32-year-old, like he's arrested, Your Honor. He also indicates to us that he has no prior assault conviction, Your Honor. Multiple mechanic. Understandably, this is the second offense, but it is misdemeanor and non-assault allegation, Your Honor.
Mr. Collins, you don't have a valid driver's license, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You do not, correct?
No, I do not.
And that's what the court sees, and that's concerning, sir. You have this allegation is a serious allegation, it's non-assaultive, and the court notes that you have a prior conviction for a similarly related offense, and the allegation is that you were operating this vehicle well above the legal limit of alcohol, allegedly with a suspended license at the time, and it's concerning to the court regarding the safety of the public, given the information that's alleged in the investigator's report that not limited to that you were asleep at the wheel while operating a vehicle allegedly with no license and allegedly well over the illegal limit of alcohol in your system. During this bond, Mr. Collins, the court takes into consideration the ties of the community, the current epidemic facing the nation, your employment status as relates to ability to post bond, lack of criminal convictions, or capious history. It's a very serious allegation. The court has concerns for the reasons stated. During this bond, Mr. Collins, you are not to use any alcohol, no marijuana, and no illegal controlled substance. Is that understood?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you. Absolutely no drinking and absolutely no driving. You do not have a valid driver's license, but regardless, there's no driving on this bond. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And you're going to have two pre-trial dates scheduled, Mr. Collins. That's September 22nd. That is a Tuesday, 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Bryant. Good afternoon, Officer Love. That matter will be heard via Zoom, Mr. Collins, on September 22nd. That's an off-site streaming technology. You'll get information on how to connect for the hearing, but it's your responsibility to connect on time. Is that clear? Thank you. And based on the information placed on the record prior to release, you're to be fit with an alcohol tether. Your bond is $2,510%. That's $250. Sir. You're welcome. Good luck, Mr. Collins.
Put your mask on, state your full name, sir.
Deontay McCants.
Thank you, Mr. McCanson. Good afternoon. Mr. McCants, you're here before the court, case number 200600471. People State of Michigan versus Deontay Stephen McCants, also known as Deontay McCants, Deontay Stephen McCants. Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor. Brandon Bird on behalf of Deontay McCants. I'm going to waive his right to formal reading. Understand the constitutional right. Stand here.
Thank you, Brother Counsel. Court will waive formal reading under plea of not guilty. Schedule a probable cause conference, Mr. McCants, that you must attend October the 7th, which is 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge King. Mr. McCants, that hearing will be heard via Zoom. That's a probable cause conference. That will be heard via Zoom, which is an off-site streaming technology. Before you're released, you'll get information on how to connect for that hearing, but it is your responsibility to connect on time. Is that understood?
Sir.
Thank
you. Not guilty is entered Esteban.
My client indicates this case is 30-year-old lifetime resident. He also indicates that he has no prior criminal convictions. Unfortunately, he's unemployed right now. The highest grade is
Thank you, Counselor. Mr. McCants, your counsel has advocated well on your behalf, as always, in the court, taking into consideration the information provided that you have no capious history, no criminal conviction that the court's aware of. You have ties to the community, you're unemployed. The court takes that into consideration as it relates to the ability to post bond. Court considers the current epidemic facing the nation, serious nature of this allegation, as well as the allegations alleged in the investigator's report. During this bond, Mr. McCants, you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Based on the information placed on the record, the current epidemic facing the nation, your bond is $10,000 personal bond. You're going to be released on a personal bond, Mr. McCants. Listen to the court. Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Your name, please.
Sean Plater.
Good afternoon, Mr. Plater. Here for case number 20045. Thank you. 20045-602, People State of Michigan versus Sean Plater, also known as Dean Plater. Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor. My client was right to the point where he understands his constitutional rights and will stand mute.
Dean Plater.
Mr. Plater, that was an alias that the court indicated. So I don't know if any response. Okay. I don't know why you're shaking your head. The court waived formal reading under a not guilty plea, schedule a pretrial date. You must attend, Mr. Plater, on October the 7th. That's at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court, in front of Judge Garrett. Mr. Plater, that will be heard via Zoom. That's an off-site streaming technology. Before you're released, you'll get information on how to connect for that hearing, but it's your responsibility to connect on time. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Not guilty is entered. Anything as to bond?
As a bond, Your Honor, my client takes the 39-year-old lifetime resident in prison, Your Honor. He also indicates that he has no prior criminal conviction. He works for FAS Manufacturing. He's from college, Your Honor. He's not on probation as well. He understands that he has had no contact at all with which plain witness is moved out of state, Your Honor. This is an assault, a serious allegation, Your Honor. I would like to take that it's a misdemeanor and the witness is out of state. I respectfully ask the court for a
Thank you. Mr. Plater, this is a very serious assaultive allegation, sir. You have to listen to the court in all aspects so you don't get locked up just for not listening. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Plater, during this bond, you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon, and as counsel stated, absolutely no contact with Shakoya Belcher. That means no contact of any kind, no contact orally, in writing, through a third person, at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. Absolutely no contact with Ms. Belcher. Is that understood? Is that understood? I need a
Yes,
verbal
sir.
response. Yep. Thank you. And you have no issue with that condition. Do you have any issue with the no contact?
Honestly, I have more conditions, and the reason why is because Miss Belcher does need to get her belongings, the last of her belongings, from a storage unit that I have. That's the only interaction that me and her need to have, and she does not.
You don't
stay-
know, Mr. Plater. That's Mr. Plater. That's incorrect. You do not need to have that interaction, and you're prohibited from having that interaction as an order of the court. Something that like that could violate you, and then you lock back up. I want to be clear. There is no contact. Not you may think it's something that needs to be said or needs to be done. That's not the case, Mr. Plater. During this bond, there's absolutely no contact, period. She tries to contact you, disregard it. If you have concerns about her getting items regarding that are in a storage unit that you have control of, you can arrange to give that a key or access to a third party if they want to give it to that young lady. But you are not to arrange that nor speak with Ms. Belcher regarding any of that arrangement. Is that understood? No contact with Ms. Belcher, period.
Understood.
Thank you, Mr. Plater. And given the epidemic facing the nation, the information placed on the record, the lack of criminal convictions or capious history, your ties to the community, and the information alleged in the investigator's report, as well as employment status as relates to ability to post bond, your bond is set $14,000 personal bond. The reason I stress the no contact, sir, is you're being released on a personal bond. You don't have to post any money. If you violate that in any way, you're likely to get locked back up just for not violating. So I want you to be clear. No contact. Good luck, Mr. Plater.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Step back in the room.
Would you like?
How you doing? My name is Marcus Todd.
I'm doing well. Thank you, Mr. Todd. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Fine, good to hear. Mr. Todd, you're here for case, no, and your full name, please?
Tamarcus Darrell Todd.
Thank you. You're here for case number 200600470, People State of Michigan versus Tamarcus D. Todd, also known as Tamarcus D. Todd. Counsel.
Brandon Bird, on behalf of Marcus Todd, I'm trying to waive the right to formal reading, the constitutional right to stand mute.
Thank you, sir. Court waive formal reading and her plea of not guilty. Mr. Todd, the court scheduling a probable cause conference, sir. You must attend on October the 7th. That's at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge King. Sir, Mr. Todd, that will be heard via Zoom, which is an off-site streaming technology. You'll get information on how to connect for that hearing before you're released, but it's your responsibility to connect on time. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Not guilty is entered as to the bond.
At the bottom, Your Honor, my client is a 27-year-old lifetime resident. He has completed 1 year of college, does landscaping, and I understand that he is a visual court offender, Your Honor, with court incident information. The prior offenses are non-assault, his allegations also non-assault, and we respectfully ask this court for a personal bond.
Thank you. Mr. Todd, this is a very serious felony allegation, sir, and the court takes into consideration the information your attorney provided to the court. And what's concerning, sir, is not only this a serious allegation, you have a lengthy prior felony conviction, which the court takes into consideration. You have ties to the community. The court's unaware of any capious history. The court considers the current epidemic facing the nation, as well as your employment status as stated as it relates to ability to post bond and the information alleged in the investigator's report. It does not appear that you have a valid driver's license. Is that true, Mr. Todd? No, you don't have a license?
I don't have a license.
Okay, so there's no driving of a vehicle. I should go without saying, but as an order of the court, no driving. You don't have a license, no driving. Is that understood?
Okay. Yes, sir.
And you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon based on your prior felony convictions. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Given the information placed on the record, the serious nature of this matter and the epidemic facing our nation, bond will be set $14,000 personal bond. Welcome. Listen to the court, Mr. Todd. No drugs, no alcohol, no illegal controlled substance, no marijuana, no alcohol, no weapons, and no driving. And you have a Zoom hearing you must attend October 7th. Is that all understood?
Yes, sir.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Willie Crosby.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Crosby. You're here for case number 200600468, People State of Michigan versus Willie Deshaun Crosby, also known as Willie Crosby, Willie Deshaun Corsby, and Willie Crosby. Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor. Brandon Bird, on behalf of Willie Crosby, I'm trying to waive the right to formal reading, understand the constitutional rights, so stand here.
For waive formal reading of the information under a plea of not guilty, Mr. Crosby, the court scheduling a probable cause conference, sir. You must attend October the 7th. That's at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Giles. That hearing on the 7th of October will be heard via Zoom, which is an off-site streaming technology similar to what we're using today. Before you're released, you'll get information on how to connect for that Zoom hearing, but it is your responsibility to connect on time. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Not guilty is entered as to the bond.
Fine, Your Honor. My client is he's a 34-year-old lifetime resident. He works with AAG Tone, and respectfully, I understand he's a visual guard offender, but that happened about 11 years ago, Your Honor. They were non-assault allegations. These allegations are also non-assault, and respectfully, as a personal bond.
Mr. Crosby, these are very serious felony allegations, sir, and the court has concern regarding the information alleged in the investigator's report based on the alleged large amount of oxycodone that was allegedly in your possession, and that's concerning to the court. And the court takes into consideration the information your counsel's provided, your ties to the community, your lack of capious history, the current epidemic facing the nation, employment status as stated as it relates to the ability to post bond, as well as your prior criminal convictions and the age of those matters. These are serious assault or serious allegations, however, non-assaultive. Given the epidemic facing the nation, Mr. Crosby, during this bond, you are not to use any alcohol, no marijuana, no illegal controlled substance. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
And you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Crosby, it's very important you listen to all aspects of the court so you don't get locked back up just for not listening. No drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and you have a court date you must attend. Is that all understood?
Yes, I attend the court date on the 7th of October, right?
Thank you for paying attention, Mr. Crosby. That's absolutely correct. The 7th of October, and that'll be via Zoom.
And I got to get in touch with you guys myself for the Zoom.
No, sir. You'll get that information before you're released on how to connect. The officers will give you that information. Okay, but don't wait till the last minute. If you don't know how to do it, if you can't figure it out, practice beforehand. You have to, it's your responsibility to be present on time on the 7th. For those reasons, your bond is $18,000 personal bond. You're being released on a personal bond, Mr. Crosby. Listen to the court, sir. Good luck. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, both. Good morning, Mr. Brown, or afternoon. Here for 200-60416, People's State of Michigan versus James Charles Brown, also known as Brown James.
Yes, Your Honor. Brandon Bird on behalf of James Brown. My client has waived his right to formal reading, understand his constitutional rights, and stand reading.
The court waived formal reading under plea of not guilty. The court scheduling 2 court dates, Mr. Brown, that you must attend them both. Probable cause conference, September 23rd, which is a Wednesday. You have a right to a preliminary examination following Wednesday, September the 30th. Both 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Archer. Both of those hearings, Mr. Brown, will be heard via Zoom, which is an off-site streaming technology. You'll get information on how to connect for those hearings before you're released. If you're able to make bond, but it's your responsibility to connect on time for that Zoom hearing, understood? Thank you. Not guilty, entered as to the bond.
Bond now, client indicates to us that he's a 64-year-old lifetime resident, Your Honor. He also indicates to us, he's unemployed, collects Social Security. Understandably, he understands that he has to have no comments at all. And understandably, he's out of soft obligations, County, but respectfully, has to take into his consideration to pay a high bond. And respectfully, has to go petition for a high personal bond, tender, or a reasonable bond.
Thank you, counsel. Are you on probation or parole, sir?
No,
Doesn't
sir,
appear
no.
so. Doesn't appear so, and the court has concerns, sir, regarding the information alleged in the investigator's report, which the court considers the serious nature of these allegations, as well as your prior criminal history, which includes serious assaultive convictions similar to the nature before the court. The court considers the current epidemic facing the nation, the information provided by counsel in the alleged investigator's report, as well as employment status as stated by counsel as it relates to the ability to post bond. Please mark, Mr. You said he has medical problems based on his age? Or no medical?
He's on, yeah, it's mental problem.
But does his file need to be marked medical, counsel?
He's on Cerebral and White
Okay. Are you getting your medicine that's required, Mr. Brown?
Yeah, I supposed to go to my doctor this week to get my psychotropic medicine, Doc. Your Honor.
Are you getting that medicine while you're locked up? Are they getting your medicine properly?
No, they're not giving it to me.
Officer, we'll have a nurse see you. Officer, please mark his file medical so he can see a nurse. Mr. Brown, during this bond, sir, you're not to purchase or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon, and absolutely no contact with Martina Hardy. That means no contact of any kind. No contact orally, in writing, through a third person, at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with Martina Hardy. Is that understood?
Yes, sir, Your Honor, yes, sir.
Thank you. Given the information placed on the record, as well as your prior criminal convictions and the serious nature of this allegation, bond will be set $7,510%. $750 bond, sir. Good luck.
Can you get a personal round? Please, Your Honor. I need to go see my doctor.
Mr. Brown, you've had a prior felonious assault conviction in 2015, criminal sexual conduct third-degree conviction in 93, another unrelated or non-assaultive conviction in 88. And then we have 2 assaultive allegations against an individual today, which are very concerning allegations. Not only are they assaultive allegations, but it appears that your alleged assault resulted in injuries, which was requiring the victim to be transported to Henry Ford Hospital to treatment for the alleged injuries, where you allegedly hit the individual in the head with a broomstick. And that's concerning to the...
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
What's that?
Mr. Brown, this is your attorney, Brandon Bird. Please don't go into the facts of the case over this video.
I'm sorry.
No, nothing to apologize to me for. Anything you want to say, Mr. Brown?
Please don't say anything about the case.
Yeah. That's right. I don't have money like that to post bond, you know. I don't have money like that. I'm on disability. I'm on these do something.
It's a $750 bond, and these are assaultive allegations. And the court took into consideration your lack of employment status as it relates to ability to post bond. As stated, this is a habitual fourth offender with multiple prior convictions for assaultive convictions. We have 2 assaultive allegations before the court that allegedly resulted in injury. The court is satisfied and comfortable the bond was placed appropriately. Anything further, Mr. Brown or counsel?
How much would it cost me?
Excuse me, sir?
How much would it cost me?
$7,500, 10%, which is $750.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck. You're welcome, sir. Good luck, Mr. Brown.
Howard Irvin Jr.
Good morning, Mr. Howard Irving Jr. You're here for case number 200600469, People State of Michigan versus Howard Irving, also known as Howard J. Irving, Maurice Irving, Dennis Keith James Jr., Howard Irving, Howard Irving Jr., Howard Irving, Howard Maurice Irving. Counselor.
Brandon Bird, on behalf of Howard Irving, my client waives his right to formal reading, understands his constitutional rights, and will stand mute.
Thank you, sir. Court will waive formal reading under a plea of not guilty. Schedule 2 court dates, Mr. Irving, that you must attend them both. Probable cause conference will be scheduled September 24th, which is a Thursday. Mr. Irving, you have a right to a preliminary examination the following Wednesday, September 30th. They're both scheduled 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Jones. Mr. Howard Irving, both of those court dates will be scheduled via Zoom. That's an off-site streaming technology. Before you're released and able to make bond, you'll get information on how to connect for those Zoom hearings, but it is your responsibility to connect on time. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Not guilty is entered as to bond.
Your Honor, my client indicates that he's a 40-year lifetime resident, Your Honor. He indicates that he works at McDonald's and he completed his GED. He understands that he has to have no contact at all with the complaining witness, and he does have an alternate place to live, which is necessary as follows. Especially these are assault allegations, Your Honor, but I would like to take into consideration his ability to pay. I work at McDonald's, and respectfully ask this court attention for a high personal amount of intelligence, or reasonably temperament bias, and true life.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Irving, the court takes into consideration the information provided by your attorney. Lack of capious history or criminal convictions the court's aware of in the past. It appears you have ties to the community. The court considers the current epidemic facing the nation, as well as your employment status at McDonald's, as stated by counsel, as relates to ability to post bond. Very concerning these are assaultive allegations, and they include a presence of threats, numerous presence of threats on individuals' life. And that's concerning to the court regarding the safety of the alleged victim. It's allegedly stated that you pointed a tile cutter at an individual, stated, quote, "I will kill you." And then allegedly while in the police car, you allegedly state, "I'm going to kill that motherfucker for real when I get out." Another presence of threats on the individual's life that the court takes into consideration and is very concerning.
I didn't do anything to her. I didn't do nothing to her.
Excuse me, 1 second. 1 second, sir. Give me 1 second.
What was it?
We want you to read those comments like behind detrimental to this case.
That's information that the court's taken into consideration upon a position of a GPS tether. There's a presence of threats on individual's life. It's alleged language that Mr. Irvin has used, not the court, and it's a reason that the court has concerns regarding individual safety, and that's the reason that the court's going to fit Mr. Irvin with the GPS tether prior to being released. And so there's a difference in a presence of threats, and a court considers a presence of threats on an individual's life versus simple statements that be made. This was an alleged 2 separate individual presence of threats on individual's life. One appeared to be made while he was in custody, and that's something the court wanted to point out. You're welcome. Mr. Irving, court considers the information stated ties to the community, lack of capious history or criminal convictions, the information placed on the record. During this bond, you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon. If you're able to make bond, given the presence of threats and the information placed on the record, you're to be fit with a GPS tether, and absolutely no contact with Valerie Taylor. Mr. Irvin, that means no contact of any kind. No contact orally, in writing, through a third person at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. Absolutely no contact. Is that clear?
Yes.
Given the concerns the court has, the information placed on the record, bond will be set. $10,000, 10%. Good luck, Mr. Irvin. You're welcome, counsel.
Put your mask on. State your full name.
Good afternoon. Your name, please.
Timothy Sobel.
Thank you, Mr. Sobel. You're here for case 200604882, People State of Michigan versus Timothy Sterling Stiegel Sobel, also known as Timothy Steran Stiegel, Timothy Sterling Sobel, Timothy Sterling Steele Sobel. Counsel. Take your time.
Yes, ma'am. Brandon Bird on behalf of Tim Sobel, client, waive his right to formal meeting, understands his constitutional rights, and stand meeting.
Thank you, Brother Counsel. Court will waive formal reading on our plea of not guilty. Schedule 2 court dates, Mr. Sobel, that you must attend them both. Probable cause conference is scheduled for September 24th, which is a Thursday. You have a right to a preliminary examination the following Wednesday, September the 30th. Both at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Jones. Mr. Sobel, both of those hearings will be heard via Zoom, which is an off-site streaming technology. You'll get information on how to connect for those hearings before you're released if you're able to make bond, but it's your responsibility to connect on time. Is that understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Not guilty is entered as to bond.
Bond, Your Honor. My client indicates to, give me 1 second.
Take your time, sir.
Bond, Your Honor, my client indicates this, that he's a 33-year-old lifetime resident in Detroit. He also indicates this, that he has no prior assault conviction, Your Honor. He does home improvement and landscaping, and he understands that he doesn't have not gonna have any contact with the complainant, no contact at all. Especially these are assault allegations, Your Honor. We respectfully ask for protection for a high personal bound with tether or reasonable 10% bond being fit by the court.
Thank you, counsel. These are very serious assaultive allegations. The court considers the information provided by your attorney Current epidemic facing the nation is something the court takes into consideration, as well as employment status as stated as it relates to ability to post bond. You have numerous prior felony convictions that the court points out, takes into consideration. They're non-assaultive. These are serious assaultive allegations before the court. The court notes you have ties to the community, no criminal or capious history the court's aware of. These are the allegations laid forth in the investigator's report are extremely serious, and they give concerns to the court regarding the safety of Miss Katrina Nicole Branham. During this bond, Mr. Sobel, you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon, and absolutely no contact with Katrina Branham. And that means no contact of any kind, no contact orally, in writing, through a third person at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. No contact with Miss Branham. Is that clear?
That's fine.
The allegations in the investigator's report are very concerning. It's alleged that numerous assaultive allegations against the victim. It's alleged that you threw a dresser drawer at the individual, a large glass bottle at the individual, a lamp at the individual. You allegedly punched the individual several times in the face, allegedly pulled her hair, allegedly got on top of the complainant and struck her in the head, punched the complainant numerous times in the face. These are, and the allegations of assault continue and are extremely serious and concerning. Given the information that's alleged in the investigator's report and the concerns the court has regarding that individual's safety, bond on this matter is set in the amount $12,010%, and you're to be fit with a GPS tether prior to release. Good luck, Mr. Sobel. Welcome, sir. DDC, do we have any mails at 48 hours that can't wait till tomorrow that you're aware of? Well, thank you for your help. We'll meet you on the female side. Appreciate it.
Down first.
Oh my goodness. I took a plain piece.
You like it? Was that what you like? Good. Yay, I did it right. Good. I didn't know what to get you, Clyde. Do you like chocolate?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, cool. That was, like I said, that's at Potbelly's. I'm not a cookie nut fan, but they're like kind of all right. They're cooked well, aren't they?
Yeah, that's good.
Good. What's that? Are they? You go during prime time. We got the two last females, counselor. Thank you. You okay? You okay, Clyde?
Have a seat on the bench for me, please. Got to go here first. Davenport, step on in. Stand on the black line, say your full name, be mask on. Say your full name, man.
Roy Lee Davenport.
Good afternoon, Ms. Davenport. You're here for case 200-60450, People State of Michigan versus Raylene Davenport, Counselor.
Yes, now, the present word on behalf of Raylene Davenport, my client waives the right to perform a reading, understands the constitutional right to withstand immediate.
Thank you. Brother Counsel, the court waived formal reading under plea of not guilty. Ms. Davenport, the court's scheduling 2 court dates, ma'am. You must attend them both. Probable cause conference is scheduled for Wednesday, September the 23rd. You have a right to a preliminary examination following Tuesday, September 29th, both at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Giles. Both will be heard via Zoom, Ms. Davenport. That's an off-site streaming technology, which you'll get information on how to connect for those hearings, but it is your responsibility to connect on time, understood?
All right, so I gotta go online and I gotta download the Zoom and
Well, there's many ways. That you could do that. That's one way. There's also, you can go online just on a computer and go to the website, but you'll get information on how to connect before you're released. And it's your responsibility to connect on time if you're able to make bond. Does that make sense? Do you understand? You'll get information. Thank you, ma'am. Not guilty is entered as to bond.
As to find, Your Honor, my client indicates to the lifetime resident, Your Honor. She also indicates that she has no prior criminal history at all. She does have an associate's degree, but unfortunately, she's unemployed right now. She deals with a few problems, and respectfully, she deals with a social application, Your Honor. I would like to take into consideration that she is unemployed and the difficulty it is for her to pay high bond. Strictly as for potentially high personal bond, reasonable 10% bond, sanctioned by the court.
Thank you, Counselor. Ms. Davenport, the court takes consideration advocacy. Well advocacy is always provided by your counsel. The court's unaware as state of any criminal convictions in the past or allegations of capious history. You have ties to the community. Court takes consideration your lack of employment status as stated by counsel as it relates to ability to post bond, as well as the current epidemic facing the nation. Concerning Ms. Davenport's the safety of the alleged victim, Ms. Davenport, given the information alleged in the investigator's report, as well as the likelihood of conviction, it's alleged as well as allegedly seen by a witness, you allegedly running towards the complainant with a large knife, making statements that you would kill her, which is concerning to the court. For that reason, Ms. Davenport, you are not to purchase or possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon. If you're able to make bond, you're to be fit with a GPS tether, given the presence of threats on the individual's life. And you are to have absolutely no contact with Ernestine Davenport during this bond. No contact with Ernestine Davenport means no contact of any kind. No contact orally, in writing, through a third person at her place of residency, employment, or through any forms of social media. Absolutely no contact. Is that understood?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Ms. Davenport. For those reasons, your bond is set 5,010%. Good luck, ma'am. You're welcome. No weapons or firearms during this bond.
Stand on the black line, state your full name, and your mask on.
Madam Clerk.
Constance.
This top one I messed up. I don't know. Do you think that's sufficient? The other ones are all good. I don't know if you want to copy it or something. Thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Spann. You're here for case 200-60483, People State of Michigan versus Constance Ruth Ann Marie Spann. Constance Ann Spann, Constance Marie Spann. Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor. Bring the word on behalf of Constance Ann. Client waives the right to perform the reading. Understand the constitutional right to withstand immediate.
Thank you, Brother Counsel. The court waive formal reading of the information under a plea of not guilty. Ms. Spann, the court is scheduling a probable cause conference you must attend on October the 7th. That's at 8:30 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Archer. Ms. Spann, that October 7th court date will be, probable cause conference will be heard via Zoom. That's an off-site streaming technology similar to what we're using today. Before you're released, you'll get information on how to connect for that Zoom hearing, but it is your responsibility to connect on time. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Not guilty as entered. Esteban.
My client takes this, that she's a 26-year-old lifetime resident of Detroit. She also takes this that she has no prior criminal convictions before the DMC hospital.
What hospital?
DMC.
Thank you.
And is a high school graduate. Respectfully, these are serious allegations, Your Honor, but they are non-assault. We respectfully ask the court for a person.
Thank you, Ms. Spann. These are very serious allegations, ma'am, but they are non-assaultive. The court notes that the court's unaware of any capious history or criminal convictions in the past. Court takes in consideration your employment status as stated by counsel as it relates to ability to post bond as well as the current epidemic facing the nation, the serious nature of these charges, as well as the information alleged in the investigator's report. Ms. Spann, during this bond, there's no driving. It appears that your license is suspended. So during this bond, there's absolutely no driving. Is that understood?
Yes.
And Ms. Spann, all of these conditions are important. If you violate any of these conditions, no driving included, there's likelihood that you're going to get locked up just for not listening to the court. The court's inclined to release you on a personal bond. So it's important that you listen to the court so you don't get locked up just for not listening. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For the reasons placed on the record, serious nature of these matters, the epidemic facing the nation, bond is set $5,000 personal bond. No driving. You're welcome, counsel. Good luck, Ms. Spann. Officer, do we have any females at 48 hours that can't wait till tomorrow morning? That you're aware of? Thank you, sir. Have a nice evening. Be safe. Appreciate your help.